Yeah, it's me. Who? Exactly. I took a break, disappeared like a ghost. The last few streamed, watched least the most. Instead it's crickets in the YouTube zone. Even my mom ain't texting my phone. I hit go live with my fresh new fade. 2 viewers in, one just there by mistake. Other one's a bot, trying to sell me some crypto. Made changes, joint till talk to be hip though. I'm back, who cares? Crickets sure, same dumb jokes, same blank stares. I'm back, oh wow. Still can't DJ, still don't know how. I'm back, so what? Drop the beat so bad, even AI shut up. I'm back, and worse. Every stream I do feels kinda like a curse. Waistline bloated and my view count drop. Look like a DJ from a thrift shop. My beats hit weak like a soggy burrito. My laugh so loud it's banned in Toledo. Camera's grainy, mic's distorted. I look like Post Malone if he got deported. Tried to hype chat, y'all ready to vibe? Only response was, please unsubscribe. I'm back, who cares? Crickets sure, same dumb jokes, same blank stares. I'm back, oh wow. Still can't DJ, still don't know how. I'm back, so what? Drop the beat so bad, even AI shut up. I'm back, and worse. Every stream I do feels kinda like a curse. My style's outdated like floppy disks. I floss once a year and I ain't talking wrist. Shirts too tight, personality loose. My charisma got ghosted by Dr. Seuss. I'm the king of mid, lord of meh. Peak content? Nah, haven't peaked yet. But I'm here, back in your ear canal, with a face made perfect for audio only, pal. I'm back, who cares? Crickets sure, same dumb jokes, same blank stares. I'm back, oh wow. Still can't DJ, still don't know how. I'm back, so what? Drop the beat so bad, even AI shut up. I'm back, and worse. Every stream I do feels kinda like a curse.
Warning: the show you are about to see has been put together by the world's safest DJ. You will laugh, maybe learn something. He will definitely say something stupid, but you are never ever in any danger.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's officially Wednesday because the shit show is back on. Welcome. The one thing I got to do right now is I'm setting my timer. Setting my timer for 30 minutes. Timer. 30 minutes. That's it. Start. That's it. That's all this is going to be. That's it. 30 minutes. As soon as it's over, that's it. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome back, everybody. Glad to have you all here. Hi, what's up, Hairspray? Good to see Hairspray back in the house. Nathan is here. Alex is here. Alex, it was cool getting to run into you, bro, at DJ Midwest DJ Live. If you were at Midwest DJ Live, let me know. I had fun. I had fun at the show. They did a good job this year, and not that they haven't, but it was kind of cool. I got to talk to some of the people that run it, and they were like, "Hey, we've been listening to you guys. We're trying to shake it up." And here's what I think is working for that show. And I got invited to go to the marquee, and I'm going to pass on that. What I think worked is that the vibe and the word is getting out that this is a fun show. So more and more like people are showing up, and it just was a really fun hang. It was just really fun. So I would encourage you guys out there, if you've never been to a DJ show before, and this was my 5th year, which was crazy. I was like, oh my God, you're right. It's my 5th year going. And my first year I went, I didn't know anybody. I just drove to Milwaukee and parked and walked around, and that's hard to do. So I would definitely suggest, like, if you're gonna go, because I did see some guys look like they went on their own and like sitting at the table, like eating tacos all by themselves. And I kind of feel bad. But so don't go by yourself unless you're okay with that. But find some people, go to a show, connect. The education is always like, all right, I think probably my favorite part was Digital Dave did a did a 45-minute, and he literally stood on stage and he was just like, "These are all the apps I use. All right, this one I use that to make graphics. This one is just helped me do stems. That one right there. That one is that's personal. I like that one. It's just telling you how to wash your ass. All right, that one right there. Just kind of bop, and just slammed through for 45 minutes. Just slammed through all of his apps that he used. And then it was done. And I walked out and I wrote down. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll try that one. I'll try." He had like a little portable vacuum he uses to clean his keyboard. I never thought about that. or like one it like vacuums and then it'll blow too, so then it'll blow all the dust out of your furniture. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. We got one of those, so that was fun. The hangs were fun, so definitely get out there and get to a show. Now, let me know in the chat or hit the like button if your wedding season has begun. I have mine is officially gone. We're launched. Got to get through that January to April over here. We're officially going. I've had 2 weddings, and both of them I took to QSC KC12s, right? A big venue, about 150. And then the second one, I took them out to a smaller venue and a guest count of about 25, which I've never done a wedding that small before. And well, so all right. What happened was we're getting ready for dinner. And typically I like to go up to the caterers before dinner starts and get my flatware, so that I don't have to bug them. But when there was only 25 people, I thought, not a problem. So I went up to the lead caterer and I said, hey, I needed like forks and knives and a napkin. And she looks at me and she goes, are you eating? I go, uh-huh. And she looked at her partner and was like, I don't know if we can make that happen. I go, there's 22 people here. What are you talking about? Just give someone one less ravioli and I can eat. She's like, well, we don't really, I just don't know if we can do it. And the photographer was with me and she was kind of like, oh, all right. And I was like, no. I was like, no, we're eating. I said, we got to figure this out. You got to figure it out. And I looked at her and go, or I'm ordering a pizza and having it delivered. And then she walked away. Now, I'm all about making, we're all on the same team. Let's stay together. But sometimes you got to stick up for yourself, right? And I got to tell you something. I'm not going to sit at my booth and watch everyone have dinner and my stomach growling. It's not happening. It's not happening. So 2 minutes later, before anybody else is fed, I got a plate of food on my table. Now, did I win? Yes. Yes, I did. Stick up for yourself in the right way. And I said to her, hey, look, I really appreciate you making this happen. I know it's not your fault with the food shortage, but again, I'm like 30 people. Can you, what were they thinking? We should have been able to feed the whole neighborhood. 30 people. Here's the other thing. Food wasn't even that good. I made that stink. And it wasn't even that good. Second wedding this Saturday. Wedding kicks off. Infocom. I have no idea what that is, bro. You gotta tell me what that is. What is Infocom? I want to know how the EV70s go. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Right at the end, the tail end of the show, to keep you on, we're gonna talk about the EV70s. I gotta give them back today. They need them for. By the way, like the EV headquarters is 20 minutes from my house, so I have so much to tell you guys about them because when I picked them up and when I went over there and I've been chatting with those guys, they gave me a lot of like info on what went into these. So I'm just saying, if you are a hater and you still haven't heard them or seen them, or you have like, you're wrong. You're wrong. They're insane. They're really, really unreal. You've done 2, but I only do them for people I know. I prefer not to do weddings. What events do you do, Hairspray? I thought you were a wedding DJ, but they are a lot of pressure, aren't they? I'm a little disappointed you didn't include Amy's opinions. I just didn't have time to shoot it. So here's the thing, like, I'm gonna get her on. Don't worry, we're gonna do it. I'll bring her on after I do a couple of gigs. I really want to do some gigs with the EV70s and chat and like have some real world experience to share with you guys and tell you like how I'm using them. Do I want to go back to the RCF Evox 12s? I'll let you know. Okay. The other thing is, and then I'm going to bring on my first guest. I tried to use the DJI mics during the ceremony. I tried. I was in the garage. Was I in the garage for like hours testing these out, remember? Oh, yeah, and I helped you. Yeah, I even put them on her. I said, talk into this thing and I felt like we EQ'd it all right. And then I get there and I set it up. And then, the officiant comes over. And then I'm like, here's a tip also. Before you hand your microphone over to the officiant, you talk into it first. so that they hear and feel like how your volume is and where their voice needs to be. And I used to not do that. And the problem is I'd hand a microphone over to them and they're like, okay. Check one, check two. Talking into this mic. And it's so low. And I'm like, hey, bro, you're not even close. So I grab him like, okay, here's where you need to be. Do you understand how to project your voice? I thought you were a professional. You got to show them. Show them where their voice needs to be and then hand the mic. And hopefully, and this has happened, they hear how soft their voice is. And then I can say, yeah, I see how I just need a little bit more out of you so I can get. Well, this guy couldn't get anything out of him. Just, okay, all right, I'm going to do a check. Every time I pulled the volume up on the thing and woo, so I had to just go over to him like, all right, we're doing this. He's like, oh, I'll just use my big boy voice and we'll do no mic. Now, this was the wedding where there was only 20 people, so I was fine with that, although I didn't want to do that. Because then when we did the vows, we had the handheld and I passed it between a couple and it sounded great. Like, can you just hold this thing? I bring a stand. I'm jaded already. Second gig of the year. I'm already pissed. It's not good. Oh, man, this guy, you cracked me up, bro. It is proper. A column is a proper PA. Don't worry. So, the handles. We need your opinion on the handles. On what? On the 70s? Yeah, by the way, I held those wrong when I picked them up in the video. One of the guys over at EV, which, by the way, I wasn't, but Amy was worried that opening skit would maybe ruffle some feathers, which I've done in the past. All right, I've definitely taken things too far. There is a uncut, unedited, rated R version of the Hercules T7 video that only a few of you got to see before they cut it out. But they texted me that morning and they're like, this was hilarious. So again, shout out to them for being cool with what I do, my style, and they didn't have any problems with that opening bit. But when I picked it up and I lifted it, especially the 70, now there's these notches, these angled notches that now you're supposed to use that to pick it up. So don't use the handles when you're going from the ground and going like this. There are these diagonal notches and put your hands in those and then it'll lift up a whole lot easier. So that's one thing to just keep in mind with those. But yeah, I tried to get him, I put it on and it just didn't, so he had to pop it off. So, I mean, I was talking with Justin and he's like, yeah, and him and all his guys over there, this is all they use for ceremonies. The DJI mics, just they put one on the officiant, one on the groom, and they roll. I'll try it this year. I will try it again. I don't know. Sometimes I don't favor convenience over terror. I mean, I even have my new Sennheiser what I'm using to go back and forth between, to create a distance. What am I saying? Trying to say a remote speaker. And even that, I was just stressed out. Mike, I don't know if you're here, but he knew I was sweating bullets that whole time. Like I refuse to have it drop out at a wedding. All right, I'm gonna bring my first guest on. You can unmute your mic. This is my best friend from Pittsburgh. Anybody from Pittsburgh? A little shout in the chat. This segment is called Chats with Kev. All we do is usually on some 3-4 times a week we get on the phone and we just go right into a bit. Just go right into it. So we're gonna have one of those here with you. Everyone, say hi to Kevin, everybody. Well, all right, Kev, we got 3 minutes here. The segment is called, or the title of this story is Banging in the Porta-John with Cindy Lou Who. All right? Banging in the Porta-John with Cindy Lou Who.
Right.
What happened?
So locally, AC/DC was in town, and it became like the talk of the town. Everyone wanted to talk about this concert that was happening here in Pittsburgh. And when I went to visit my wife's, the store where she purchases a lot of her beauty supplies, she runs a hair salon. The lady who works the counter, I don't know her name. She's pretty new, and she finds herself to be rather comfortable with me to just talk about whatever's on her mind. Last time it was that she doesn't like her bed because her mother loaned it to her and someone died on it.
Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
You didn't even tell me this part.
No,
you talked about her mattress. The mattress, yes. Her bed, her sleeping situation came up.
This is
in the checkout line.
I'm not making something out of nothing.
No, I believe you, but that's crazy.
She just feels like that we are either her past successes come from having a nice, friendly relationship, and that friendly relationship comes from vulnerability, and she feels she can just say whatever she wants. And so she talks to me about her random life stories about how her mother-in-law gave them the bed that they sleep on. And the weird part is not that part, but that someone had died on it. And I'm just checking out. I'm literally
Right.
checking out. And I've told you, I'm a very courteous person, but if I don't feel like engaging, I mean, again, I've been DJing for a while. I'm pretty out in the open with my with personality. But when it comes to Tuesdays at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon buying things, I'm not giving you my best game. I'm
Well,
sorry.
and here's the thing too, like
You're not getting
I,
me.
I was asking you when you're telling me this, it's like she was like baiting you,
Yes.
like giving you a statement that required you to go, "Oh, really? What's that?" Like the
Right.
scene in Office Space where he goes,
Yes.
I had an idea once. Oh, really, Tom? What was it? Like instead of saying it, so what
Yes.
she was like
Well,
doing
well,
that
that's
to you, like trying to create some mystery to keep you
right.
engaged in the conversation. But
She's constantly segueing into what she wants to talk about. It's like she found a story she wants to. So she was telling me that she and her husband, she said, it's a beautiful weekend, right? This was Monday. She said, it was a beautiful weekend, right? I said, yes. She said, oh, I'm pretty tired. I went to the AC/DC concert, which was on Wednesday,
mm,
not Friday, not weekend, Wednesday. I said, okay. I didn't say it wasn't fun. I didn't say, oh, I bet that was fun. She said, it was loud. I said, I bet. Again, these
mhm.
are very non
Is your
engaging
head
things.
down? Are your eyes down while you're answering,
I'm
or are
looking
you
at my
making eye
phone.
contact?
I'm counting the products I'm buying. I'm purposely not making. Now I'm not rude.
Yeah,
I'm clearly not engaging. And so
yeah.
she said, "Well, yeah, AC/DC." I said, "Oh, okay." She said that opening act was really good. I said, "Okay." And she said the lead singer, she's pretty hot. I said, "Cool, that's great." So my husband's really into her. I said, "Oh, okay." She
Mm.
said, she was Cindy Lou Who back in the day. And if you know the band, you could look
From
her
the
up. Cindy
Grinch.
Lou Who
The,
in the
that's
Grinch. Yes.
yeah.
I said, "Oh, okay." Okay. She said, "Yeah, my husband thought she was pretty hot." I said, "Okay." I said, "I would tell him that you're checking out you're a pervert. You're checking out someone from a movie that was young when they were younger." And she said, "Oh, okay. That's okay. He's my pervert." So quickly, I engaged. The first time I engaged, she pushed back. She
Yeah.
pushed back. I said, that. And she said, but I thought she was pretty hot too. I said, "Oh, okay, great.
So
All
how do
right."
we get
And
to banging in the porta
she
john?
said, yeah, there we are at the end of the night. We ended up banging in the porta john, thinking about Cindy Lou
The
Who. I said,
AC/DC concert. Can you imagine having this conversation with somebody, a stranger, which by the way, you don't know her name still, but you do
Still,
know that she banged her husband, who's a perv. They
mhm,
both are.
mhm, mhm.
Uh, at an AC/DC concert. Now, was it
Yes.
during? Did you know like which song was it? Was it Back in Black? Like which song did they be like? All right, I'm too horny right now, or was
Yeah,
it
I will
Cindy Lou Who
say
that got them in the mood? And then they're like, we gotta scratch this itch right now.
I don't I don't know,
So
but I do know the concert was at Heinz Field, or sorry, Acrisure or whatever. But so the Porta Johns were out in the parking lot. So this had to have happened after the concert, or their urges got to them and they had to go.
do
They
you
had to
think they
just leave.
left?
Yes,
They
they're like
left?
Back in Black. I'm gonna head out. I'm
Will they
out.
let you back in, or is it one of those things
I
like
don't
I
know.
don't think they let you back in? I thought like when you leave a hockey game, they don't let you back in. Do you know what I mean?
I
And
think I think they got what they came for. I think they got what they were looking for. That's
they
what I
got the
think.
rocks off. So,
Yeah.
all right, bye, Kevin.
Bye.
So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to ask that was because I felt like, okay, we're in the customer service industry, right? What is too far? Was that too far? How what do we got to do, and how far is it with your customer service stuff? And that made me think about all the different like follow-ups that we do and the emails that go out. What's too far? Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? Like, was that too far? If you're at the counter, if you're at the counter and you're just trying to buy something, should I get this person's life story? Because I gotta say, like, sometimes on the Zoom calls, we have like last night I had a final, and man, we tried for like a half hour. And I honestly think that in our space we can do that. We can have those moments with people. We can speak. We can sort of share stories with them. I want to hear what they're thinking. I try to make them laugh, that kind of thing. I don't know. Finding out about banging in a porta john after being turned on by who used to be a little kid. That's a little weird. That's a little weird. All right, you gotta watch out for that. Okay, last thing, real quick, KC12s, the KC12s. You guys have any? If you have any questions about those, put those in the chat right now. Uh, can never go too far. Okay, I love the Ferris reference because right before Kevin came on, I even um, made a reference because I recently joined the TikTok and I've been on for about a month, maybe. I gotta tell you, sticking with the Ferris Bueller thing, I weep for the future. If this is where if this is a representative of, I'm gonna, here's boomer time. It's boomer chat. Wait, do I still have that old guy chat thing I made? Oh, here we go. Let's see if this works. Here we go. Time for me to do a little old guy rant. We haven't done one of these in a while. What the fuck is going on TikTok? Here's the thing that drives me the most crazy about TikTok. You ready? It's not the content, which is like, okay. It's this move I see every time. Every time a video is over, not every time, but most of the time when the video is over, you see this. They're going in and turning the camera off. Why are they not cutting that part out? That drives me crazy. Cut that part out where you're this. I don't want to see that. This. I don't want to see that. This. Cut that part out. All right, cut that part out. But yeah, the KC12s. All right. KC12s. They sounded great, guys. The subs do move. They subs move. Oh, and it is true. So you got to put some mats down right now. I will say that they know this. They're aware of it, and I think that we're going to have a solution for it. So if that's something that you're worried about, you don't have to be worried about it because they're gonna fix it. We're gonna take care of it. We're like I'm part of it. Yeah. And all I did was I got some, which I used for the Mauis because the Mauis move, the Evol 50s move. The Evox 12s do not move, but they're heavier. The EV 70s don't move. And man, I was like cranking those in the garage, so you don't have to worry about those moving. And I have a concrete garage floor, so that's typical what a venue would feel like. So the EVs don't move, but they do move. And I think it's because of the weight. You know, you've got a top and you've got the pole, and it's just, because the top is so light, it's and the base is thumping, it's gonna slide. So just get a couple of what I get is either like stair mats or some floor mats, like the square things you'd find at hardware store or whatever. Put those on the ground, set them on top, you're good to go. I also definitely advise you guys get some of those hybrid cables. Man, I love those things. The cable where you have the power and your XLR, and then it's wrapped. This just makes your presentation look so much better. You don't even really have to tape the floor after you have those things down. And NLFX will do white versions of that too. Now, just keep in mind, I was sort of like, oh, the white is not going to be that same rubber that goes around them. It's almost like a white mesh kind of thing that goes around the rubber. So to be honest, that was sort of like, oh, I thought it was going to be this thing, but it's not. I mean, it's still white, but it wasn't. So I ordered another set for the EV70s because it's PowerCon. And so those are coming. So if you haven't used those already, go for them. All right, Alex loves his KC12s. I know that there's Mike. I'm here. Don't stress a lot about because thank you, bro. Yeah, I got your text. You got I need you on Saturday. Used the KC12s for the first time this weekend. They were awesome. Yeah, that's what we're taking this weekend. KC12s back out. They're perfect. And that's the thing. A lot of people are asking me in the comments of the EV70 video. And I just want to make sure how we're doing. Oh, I got time. How we're, the EV70 and the Evox 12, like which one? Are you still using the KC12s? And I like having both options because when I did that 20-person wedding, I took one KC12. One. And it was fine. I mean, I probably could have ran that wedding with an Evers 8, Didn't need a lot of juice for that one. But the KC12s, if you're on the fence, I think this is the deal. If you're on the fence between the 12 or the EV70, I would say this. If you have if room in your transport is not a problem, you got trailer or whatever, and you have an assistant, I'd say go for the 70s because then you have all the headroom in the world you need. If you need to turn down, you can turn down. You can't ever turn up. Now the KC12s do get loud. However, Sound side by side, the EV wins. I mean, it's just, we're in the garage and Amy and I are looking at each other like, oh my God. It made all the other ones just sound, so now they do sound well, okay? But that's my thought. If you're looking for, look, Aaron, I do like 20, 30 gigs and I'm in these small venues to mid-size. It's just me. I want something light and portable. Then I think the KC12s are the second best column for that. I think they have the edge over the Mauis. I think they have the edge over the EVs. I think they have the edge over the J8s after listening to all of them. So that's my honest, real life opinion. So they're gonna work for you. They're gonna be great. It has built-in mixer, which is nice. And then I just always knew, and Mike, you can say this, like when we had those the Mauis, the white system we took out a lot. I mean, we were always in the red. He was always looking at me like, he was tapping on the shoulder, like, what? He's like, you're like solid red, bro. I'm like, oh shit. Gotta pull that back. But when we were at the JX, which is a big venue and about 150, 160 people, we didn't really have a problem. We didn't have a problem. The only thing that did happen was sound was distorting out of one of them, but it was because the trim on my controller was just, for some reason, it turned up too high. So it's kind of crazy. Good. I'm using Stage Pass. So what did somebody else say in the comments that was like, I've never heard those before? Oh, what was it? It wasn't the I know everyone keeps saying like the DB ES12 or whatever. I heard those. I had them in the garage. I have what was it? I actually have footage of it. The DB1305 or whatever. Like I heard them. They're just like the Evox 12s. Way taller, and I just didn't think that they had any kind of edge. But I'm just telling you, the EV70 is probably the best sounding speaker, column speaker I've ever heard. If you like tops and subs, you guys are gonna be so impressed with these. When you do speaker test and reviews, you should just do a mini block party. Your neighbors are probably dude, it's so fun. Like I do have cool neighbors. They know what I do. And like they'll text me sometimes requests, which is so, and I try to do it in the afternoon. So I never blast my speakers after 5 when I know everyone's home from work and they're whatever. And my garage door is always down. So the only thing that they hear is like that's it. And I remember, I think I told you guys this. I did have the cops called on me one time. It was like when we first moved here, and they didn't know that I was a DJ and they didn't know it was me. They thought it was some punk kids driving their car around. So they called the cops. And they came over to my house and it was so funny. They were like, so what's going on? You guys having band practice? That statement just cracked me up. Because I used to do that. I used to have band practice in my garage. And like, no, I'm just a DJ. And they're like, all right, it's no problem. And they left. Right, no problem. They could hear what I was doing, and we fixed it anyways. Like, because I posted on Facebook, like my neighbors called the cops, and all my other neighbors are like, "What the fuck? Who did that?" So it's cool. And my neighbor right over here, who's a storm chaser, he came over and he's like, "I want to hear these new speakers," and he's really into like rock and roll, so I played him some Motley Crue, and he was, so my neighbors are really cool. My neighbors are super cool about it. Hey, DJ Savage, what's up, man? I know, what's up? You're finally on the live. You are here. So, yes, that's my honest. We'll do a side-by-side. What were your guys' thoughts in the video? Is there anything in there that I left out or you were hoping I said or didn't, or something that you saw and you're like, oh, I didn't know. I did talk over the music, okay? Because that's a thing. I'm not shooting. These aren't shots fired at Nick. He's my homie. It wasn't just him that was saying this. It was lots of people saying this. But I don't get it. I don't get it. When I talk over music, it's during an interlude. If I have to make an announcement, I use stems and I stem out the vocals and talk. Why are you talking over the music? I don't understand. So, but if you are doing that, hey, look who's here. Justin, the fucking DJ. Wait, you're going to get some horns, bro. It was fun getting to touch in person. Me and Justin touched. As you know, we had some beef and it was squashed. It was all on his end. And then I saved he did a panel and I saved that. That was a favor. You still owe me money, bro, for that. But if you guys want to know about the KC12s, Justin loves them. He's still gigging with them, taking them out. I know you're loving those, bro. I know you're loving them. Say something in the chat. Tell us what you're thinking about them. I feel like the Evolve 70 is probably fine and the upgrade I need, but I still want the... All right. Let me talk about those. What's up, baby? This guy knows how to party. I'm telling the story, Justin, because everybody knows. At Midwest DJ Live, he got on one of those Lime those scooters, those electric scooters, and he got on one of those and totally curbed it. Shabam! Went flying off. However, I don't know if you know this about your boy. Do you know this guy has he is on viral on the internet, not for being a DJ, but for being a gymnast. If you want to see Justin DJ in tight tights, long moppy hair, doing a run and a blink and a bam and landing that shit with chalk going all over the place, just look it up. Because that skill came into effect when he crashed that scooter into a curb to avoid a car. He tucked and rolled and walked away, barely an injury. Now the scooter is beyond repair, but he walked out of there with no problem. Okay, let me just tell you that real quickly about these RCF 1415X. You got to EQ them. You're right, John. They're not out of the box, plug it in, turn on music mode, and start playing. And it's the same thing with the Evox 12. But with the NXL or whatever the fuck they're called, I talked to RCF. Super cool dudes. They're telling me all about it. They're walking me through the app. The sub, if you use the app, it's almost like you have a QSC Touch Mix. You can really dial that thing in with the app. But for me, when we really pushed the volume, and this is when I was at KPO DJ and I set them up. I have a video. I just haven't released it yet, but I will show you that. I shot all sorts of footage. We did sound checks and everything. That sub is ridiculous, by the way. That sub felt like a 21. It was rattling everything. So if you're a ball rattling DJ, Justin just texted me the link. All right. So I'll put that in the description. If you're watching this on the replay, I will put that link in the description. See you do that. Yeah, I got it. I got the link. Oh, there we go. That's my timer, which means I have 30 seconds. I'm starting now. So at 12:39, I'm out. Yeah, that app. So what I would say is, oh boy, they had to walk me through it. I hope that they're gonna make some videos that will. I know. I'm almost out. I know that they're gonna. Hopefully, they'll make some videos to show you guys how to work that app. But for me, it just was just a little too harsh in sound. And God damn it, we're out of time. Oh, you want balls? If you want to rattle balls, that's the one. But it's heavy and there's cables, and I think it's harsh. All right, see you next one. I said 30.